Okay, my friends, let's go part two. Here we go. This is looking very nice so far, I think. Okay, the wine glass. There's a reference photograph. Let's sketch in the wine glass, and we need to be a little bit careful with this now, okay? I'm going to use, I'm going to start with the red, all right? I'm going to just mix up a little bit of magenta with cadmium red. I'm going to start with that colour, just to get a nice outline. Let's get some nice rich red in there. I'm going to start with the bottom half of the glass. So the wine in the glass, we're going to paint the wine in the glass. Let's start with that. Let's get our lines in. Okay, so I'm going to come up to about here. I'm going to start around here. It needs to be above, doesn't it? It needs to be above the red reflection. So let's give it a little bit of a curve like this. Now, I'm being cautious. I don't want to make it too big. I don't want to make it too small either. So I'm being a little bit cautious. Let's turn it around like this and come down and a bit of a curve like that. Now, when you're doing this, I'm just going to take my time and just make sure I have this right. I think a little bit wider to make a better impact. So let's go down like that, come up like that, around, and a little bit further out, like so. Okay, and then we come down the sides. Now it's tricky for me because I'm slightly over to one side of the canvas. It's tricky for me to get the sides the same. So I'm going to start with a center point down here. I'm going to come down to around here, okay, with the bottom. Now, at least if we have that line in there, okay, that point, we know we can get the center. So let me just, again, make sure my lines, once you get the lines right the first time, that's the important part. After this, it's just filling in colour. So here we go, 3, 2, 1, without touching the background because that's still a little wet. Let's bring these down to that point. Right, this is tricky. Okay. And let's come like that. I can't tell if that's straight or wobbly or what. I just cannot tell. So I'm going to just leave it at that now. Take another brush and let's just start filling in the red. Okay, let's get some rich dark red, cadmium red. I'm using a dry brush just on that little bit of a mix I just did. So lots of thick paint, magenta, cadmium red. Let's just go for it. Let's just go for it and have some fun, okay? I think that's the best thing to do, isn't it? Just bite the bullet and let's go. A little bit of cadmium red now here. All right. Little bit of cadmium red down the bottom here. Now again, I will finish all this with a palette knife as well, just to get the colours nice and strong. All right, don't worry about that. Sometimes you can overthink things like this. Now, I'm getting a nice rich dark winey red, so let's get some magenta. Even magenta on its own can look like a very dark wine in a glass. But this is just kind of the base colour. I will add to this as I need. We just need to get this nice and straight. In other words, not too kind of wobbly and out of shape. Just get this shape right and everything else will follow fine, my friends. I'm going to add another colour to this. I think I need a touch of burnt sienna. You'll be very surprised, a little touch of burnt sienna with magenta or cadmium red can make such a difference. Okay, let's try it. It can really warm the colour, you see that? Just a tiny touch of sienna and let's go cadmium red as well. Just for the kind of the brighter section of the wine, the brighter colour. Now as it comes over, you can see it gets really dark, doesn't it? Let's get more magenta. I'm going to mix some magenta and a little phthalo blue and get a really rich, winey purple, okay? So, magenta, little phthalo blue, and let's go cadmium red as well. So we have a very rich, dark colour. That's still not dark enough now, I know that. But I just want to gradually darken the colour. I'm going to go up on top as well and fill in this section with that colour. And again now I'm just keeping this all nice and simple, okay? You know, don't be too worried about detail. Just have some fun, all right? Just have some fun. I'm going to try magenta with burnt umber and a little black. That should give us a nice dark colour. There we go. That's a bit better. And then we come over here, we get that. You see that little shape where it just goes from a bright red to a dark? Get that shape in. And then we come over here and we do the same. Now don't worry about little mistakes like that there. Small, tiny mistakes, don't worry. We can fix mistakes, all right? We can fix them. Now I'm going to get, again, a deep purple colour. Magenta, phthalo blue. But there's a lot more magenta in this. Let's go in here and get that deep purple. Like that. Okay. Soften it over. And then just create a little shape there so you can see the light going through the glass. Now, I'm just getting a bit more magenta. It needs to be a pinky kind of a purple. Dark red wine is like a very deep pinky purple, isn't it? I'm then going to take some burnt umber into that. Instead of black, I'm going to use burnt umber just for now, just to give us the warmth. So that keeps the warmth of the wine. Okay? Now, clean the brush. Let's go into some black. A little bit of black, just here and there. Notice I'm keeping the rim of the glass okay. I'm leaving the rim alone because I want to keep these separate, okay? These two colours, the top and the bottom of the red wine, I want to keep them separate. You can see the bottom is much darker than the top. This takes a bit of work now, okay? A little bit of practice, but just keep at it. You will get there eventually. Even that now, it doesn't look too bad, does it? Other than details and stuff like that, which we can put in later. Don't worry about your details. That will all follow. I'm going to take a little bit of phthalo blue and white, a tiny, tiny bit of white. I just want to add a little highlight in here. Look. You see that tiny, tiny highlight? Just a little. And maybe the tiniest little bit up on top as well. And I just want to soften it back in. Now, if anything else, it makes for interesting viewing, doesn't it? If this is outside of your comfort zone, you know, it still makes a nice bit of viewing, doesn't it? To see how you can achieve something like this. Right, I'm going to stop at that. I'm going to start doing the top of the glass. The top of the glass may be a little bit tricky, but again, if we just take our time, we'll be okay. Let's take our small pointy brush, and now I'm going to go with maybe a black, a very soft black, a very thinned out black, look, just to get the line. I just want to get my reference lines in with this colour, and then we can fill in the rest. So let's follow the glass. So it comes up to about here, doesn't it? I'm going to come down like this. Imagine it's going straight down then, look. Okay, that's one side. And we will bring our curve across, a very slight curve, and we'll do the same on this side. I'm only guessing now that this is where it should be. I'm only guessing. If it's wrong, it's wrong. There's nothing we can do about it if it's wrong, is there? Let's give that a very shallow line, very soft, tiny line across the top. Okay? We're getting there, aren't we? Slowly but surely. We can now move on to our small flat brush. Give that a good clean. Let's get some colour on. I can see on this side there's a hint of Naples yellow in there. It's a kind of a soft yellowy shade. I'm just going to bring that down. Over my line. Like that. And this is all, you can see, already you will start to see it come to life, can't you? Already. It's a very, you know, the thing about painting like this is it changes so much so quickly. It's amazing. One little line and a certain colour can just bring everything to life. Now over here, I'm going to go like that. It's just a very soft, it's sort of a bluey shade, isn't it? I'm just come down like that and stop at the top of that wine up there, look. That's giving us the curve. You see the way I'm following the curve of the glass as well. That's very, very important, okay? You have to follow the curve of your glass. You see what I mean? And if you just keep following that curve, you'll be absolutely fine. Now, we have, it's a kind of a strange colour in the middle. It's a background, but it's slightly darker, if you know what I mean. I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm going to just go over now and put this thick white band. You see that white band over there? I'm going to put that on. Let's get some titanium white. Tiniest touch of Naples yellow, I think, just to really brighten that up. Now, let's go for it. I'm going to start at the bottom. It comes down a bit of a curve. It stops. Then it comes up. Like so. Isn't that right? And it comes down, meets the corner. I'm simply looking at the shapes I have. All right, that's all I'm doing. Looking at the shapes. Look at each individual shape. That's really all you need to do. And just try and follow those shapes as best you can. Now, another little line there. You can see there's lots of different little lines, you see. Now, I'm going to my small pointy brush over here. In fact, one sec, just let me go back to that colour again. A little bit of white and Naples yellow. There's a little bit of a light down here, you see that? Just down there, just a little. And there's a little bit of light popping through this one as well, up here. And there's a little bit on the corner. You see how all these tiny, tiny little subtle changes make all the difference, don't they, really? Now, I'm going to take a little bit of black. I'm going to take a little bit of black and I'm going to put a little line. You see there's a little line there. Almost like the glass is showing through. Or the bottle is showing through. Okay. There is a very dark reddy black line across the top of the wine here. You see the wine inside the glass? Very dark line going across there. So simply copy what you see. All right. No, that's not looking too bad so far, is it? It's not too bad. We've a dark line in here. You see this dark line? Let's put that in. It's like a blacky browny colour. Okay? Bit of burnt umber, bit of black. If it's a blacky brown, then just mix burnt umber with black. That's what I say. Put that in and then turn it in like that. So you can begin to see that all of this is literally just different shades of lines brought together. That's all it is, okay, my friends? There's a little bit of a light on the wine in here. So I'm going to go for a bit of red and a little bit of white. And get that bright shade. It just comes almost straight down, doesn't it? Like so. Now we can add to that as we need. So a bit of white perhaps. Flick a little bit of white in there. Just keep going until you get the colour that you're happy with. That's what I would say. You know, this can be very difficult if you're unsure. Then just literally tell yourself, I'm just going to have some fun with this. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's only paint. But if you're unsure, literally just say to yourself, okay, let's just go for it. Let's just have a bit of fun and see what happens anyway. What's the worst that can go wrong? Okay, it's just a bit of paint. And I'm going to put a little bit up here as well across the edge of the glass. So all these tiny, tiny little differences add up to a wine glass. You see? Small little highlights here and there. They just tell the story, don't they? Now, I am fairly happy with this so far. The only thing I really want to do is to brighten that red in there. You see that rich glow we have inside there on the photograph? I want to really brighten that up. So I'm just going to take some cadmium red on its own. And I'm going to just follow the line first down the edge. Bring it in. Lots of thick paint on its own. And let's just allow that then to merge through. How about that? Quite nice, isn't it? The very same down the bottom of the glass, we have little bits of red catching here and there. You see? Just little bits. Right, on to the bottom end of the glass. Now I'm happy enough with that. I don't think we need to keep going with it, you know what I mean? It's up to yourself whether you want to keep going at it or what you want to do with it. I'm just going to put a couple of suggestions of ripples in there with some cadmium red. Okay, just to rough it up a little bit inside there. Let's go to the bottom, the little stem of the glass. Again, I'm going to take some white with a little touch of Naples yellow. It's this kind of soft shade of white, isn't it? That's what I can see. It's very, very soft white. So let me just take some of that, thin it out, a little bit of white, a little bit of Naples yellow. Let's go. Let's just bring this down like that. Okay, let it disappear. We go to the other side, do the very same thing. That side comes further down slightly, doesn't it? Now I'm going to put in the outline with this colour. I know it's not the same, but this is the tricky part, getting the curves just right. that can be very tricky. I mean, that doesn't even look right to me. It's not right at all. But we can fix things. There, that's not too bad now, is it? I'll go back to this brush. I'm going to fill in a little bit of, in the center of this, it's a bit darker, isn't it, slightly? It's a bit darker. Take a bit of the dark colour. Because it's glass, it's reflecting lots of different shades. Okay. Bit of burnt umber in there. We have a kind of a grey shade going on down the bottom. Let me just take a bit of this dark blue, bit of black, just any kind of a random grey colour will do absolutely fine. Just going to go like that, bring this around like that. I'm just literally winging this and chancing my arm, hoping that it comes right. That's what a lot of this is, just winging it, just hoping it looks okay. I'm going to come around here with a little bit of a curve like that, and take another bit around the bottom as well, like that. Okay, and there's a little bit of white over on the other side, isn't there? A little bit of a highlight coming around here. So you can see all these little highlights are all separate little highlights, but when you bring them together, it makes a glass, doesn't it? A little bit coming around here like this. Okay, so now you can see it slowly evolving into a reflective glass, can't you? Now I'll take a little bit of white. I'm going to bring this white in here just slightly and down. It's all about just looking at the photograph. Just keep looking at your photograph. That's all it is, okay? Just keep looking, constantly looking over. There's a kind of a Naples yellow here. We have a bit of a cork as well down there, a bit of wood or cork or something. So I'll try and get a bit of that in as well. Okay, there we go. That's not bad. I'm going to take some black. There is a bit of black in this. And there's a little bit of black that comes up here as well. And let's just show the rim of the glass up here. Like that. Okay. Isn't this just so much fun? It's so much fun doing this because, you know, honestly, I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I really was skeptical that it wasn't going to be that great. I'll be very honest. I was very, very skeptical, but it seems to be turning out okay so far. You know, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm going to take a little bit of a soft bluey shade. Okay. I'm going to use that to fill in this area there, a little bit above it here. I'm going to take a bit of a light green. There's a kind of a light green reflected onto the glass here. And it's basically just lots of lights and darks in the glass, I think. So I'm going to take some white again, and I'm going to come over here, just give that a bit of a stronger highlight there. And especially over on this side, there's a couple of dabs of light over here as well. Just keep adding your lights where you see them. If you see a little tiny bit of light here and there, just add it in. Even if it's the tiniest little bit, it does make all the difference. That's not bad so far. It's really not that bad. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's okay. I'm happy with it. A little touch of light in there. And let's say nice white in here. Like so. Okay, so how are we looking so far? It's not bad. There's a nice, thick, crisp white in there as well. And there's a nice, thick, crisp white on this side, just coming around there. You see what I mean? Just mess around with it, have a bit of fun. Just create little lines and impressions on the glass. You see that? Just go to town. Go to town with this now, have a bit of fun. You see, a little bit of Naples yellow there. And that's starting to look more like a glass now, isn't it? We have a bit of, let's put a bit of a cork or something. I don't know what that is in behind there. I can't tell. You probably can, but I haven't got the foggiest idea of what it is. You might know more than me. Okay, so let's take a bit of Naples yellow, a bit of burnt sienna. Okay, just a bit of Naples yellow, a bit of burnt sienna. Let's pop a cork or something in here for a bit of colour. I'm more inclined to go on this side just with a cork. I'm going to put a cork over here, look. And it needs to be substantial, doesn't it, to fit the wine bottle. So let's give it a nice thick cork. Now let's go again. Bit of sienna. And then we have the front part, which sort of comes out like that. I'm only imagining now what a cork looks like in my own head, what a wine bottle cork would look like. I'm just imagining. Okay, that's all I'm doing. Let's get a bit of Naples yellow for the top of this. Swing it around, follow the shape. You see? Take a small brush, get some burnt umber, go in underneath with some dark burnt umber for that. Bit of burnt umber under the ridge, just there. I am just really playing around with this now, trying to create just a nice painting. Now that's absolutely fine, I think. I think it looks okay. Maybe a little bit of shadow down underneath it. A bit of shadow coming across here. And then we can reflect that, you see, in the glass. One last thing I'm going to do is just refine the back edge of the glass, like so. And we're nearly there, my friends. We are nearly there. I need to go over to my... Oh yeah, actually, we need to put some reflections in on this, don't we? How about little reflections? Come on. Let's take a bit of dark colour, a bit of that blacky colour. See the middle of this? Let's just pull this down, like so. Let's just bring it down, create a little reflection. Just a bit of black on your brush. And then I'm going to take a little bit of white and pop a little touch of white as well down this side here. Doesn't that look like a nice little reflection already? Now maybe going slightly to one side, I'll fix that later on. It's very difficult to get these lines absolutely bang on when I'm painting live in situ, because I can't really sit back and look. Do you know what I mean? It's difficult. And what else? What else? Let's take a little bit of that colour and reflect the glass just here, and a little bit of it just here. Okay. And maybe reflect a little bit of that cork as well over here. Just to suggest that they are reflections. I think that will make a big difference. So far so good, my friends. So far so good. A little bit of light hitting this on that side there. A little bit there. I think I'm going to leave this alone. There's one small little piece I need to do, and that's just a bit of black in here. See that bit of black there, look. I want to go over and darken the wine bottle. That needs to be a little bit darker. I'm going to take some pure black and I'm going to really blacken that up, okay? That really needs to be much darker. So I'm just taking a little tiny bit of turpentine, some black on my brush, and I'm just going to reinforce that black colour. Just to really make that bounce, okay? Bit more up here. Now I think that's a little bit better already. And I'm taking a bit of blue. I'm just going to pop a little bit of blue into those lighter parts here and there, look, just to make it a little bit deeper. I prefer that now. I think that's much nicer. What do you think? I am quite happy with this. I need to go around one small piece with some black, and that's, you see this red here? I just want to go around that with a little bit of black first. Just need to bring that down a bit. And then just kind of suggest the shape of the wine glass. Do you see what I mean? That shape. That will just give us a little suggestion that there's a wine glass reflecting in the glass, the bottle of wine, is what I mean. Take a little bit of blue, and I'm going to pop a little tiny shade of blue up over that. And I think we're done. I think we are done, my friends. I don't think this turned out too badly at all. I am quietly surprised and happy with all of this. I must say, quietly happy. Let's just deepen that with a bit of blue. There's little highlights there, and a little bit of black as well. Just down here. Let's get that nice, deep reflection. And my friends, I am going to call this done. I don't feel the urge to keep going with this. I think it's absolutely fine. I really don't. The only thing that's left for me to do is just stick a little signature on this. Let's go for some black. Come over here. I'll just put my signature on this side, and I'll say thank you very, very much, my friends. I hope you've enjoyed watching. Now, I am very, very happy with that. Look at that. A nice little still life of a wine bottle with a glass of red wine next to it. And of course you can keep expanding, and you can keep at this if you want. For instance, if I took a little cadmium yellow, a little bit of cadmium red, and let's just say I wanted to brighten this little area in here. You see? Just little touches like that. I think those little things make a world of difference when you're painting. Just something like that is all it needs, just a touch. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I've really enjoyed painting this. I'm going to stick a frame on this now, a white frame, a bright white frame, and I'll show you. I'll put a post up when it's framed. Thank you for watching, if you've managed to stick till the very end. I know it's been a very long tutorial, and sometimes I can waffle on a little bit. But I like to give you all the details and show you everything I'm doing. My friends, have a lovely, lovely day. Do like and subscribe to the channel. Let's try and grow the channel. You know, get it out there. There's so many people missing out on these tutorials. I think a lot of people would benefit. So please do like, subscribe and share as well. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll be back very soon with another lovely tutorial, a landscape, no doubt. I'll see you soon, my friends. Take care and God bless.